Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Vanisha Arora, and welcome to the economics class. So this is the part 3 for the chapter 1, Indian economy on the eve of independence. So in the previous video, we had just covered two sectors, agriculture and industry, and here we are moving further with this chapter. So today's topic is foreign trade. So we will study about how foreign trade sector has impacted during the independence or at the time of independence. Okay? So India exported raw material and imported finished goods. As you know, that was the background of a country. Like it used to export raw material, it used to import finished goods, and British has a monopoly over the Indian foreign trade. Like British was the only one who takes the foreign trade charge over there, and they do not allow anyone to take charge over it. It leads to drain of our wealth surplus used for business administration, not for Indian development. What this statement means, like the Britishers have used our wealth, have used our resources just for the surplus of business administration, not for the Indian development. So they are just using our resources, utilizing our things just for the sake of their own administration. They are not even considering our development over it. So this was a bad impact. This has a had a bad impact on our economy. So that was the situation of foreign trade. And now I'll be coming on demographic conditions. I have explained you foreign trade, I've explained you industrial sector, I will explain you agricultural sector. And now it's time for the demographic condition. What is demography? Demography is basically the population segmentations, like the components, like the things that impacts the population, like literacy rate, birth rate, death rate, life expectancy rate, and other sensors, infant mortality rate, health rate, and health status. So this all comes under the demography. So what was the demography at the time of the independence of our country? So it was the first census take place in 1881, as you all know. First census of our country takes place in 1881, and 1921 was a great year of divide. What was great year of divide? In 1921, like from 1921, there was a different pattern of change in the population, and earlier to this year, there was a different pattern of change in the population of the country. So that's why this year is known as the year of Great Divide. It is a very important topic, so be prepared with this. And death rate is 45 per thousand. Infant mortality rate was 218 per thousand. Literacy rate was low 16%. And life expectancy was 32 years. Low living standards and poor public health facilities. Like देखो गाइस, देखो उसमें क्या है कि हमारी जो सेंसस है 1881 में हुआ था, तो उसके बाद जो 1921 था, इट वाज कंसिडर एज ए ईयर ऑफ ग्रेट डिवाइड. हेल्थ जो डेथ रेट था 45 per thousand था. Infant mortality rate was 218 per thousand. And these both the rates, you have to learn it because it is important from exam point of view. You have to mention it. The figures need to be mentioned there. There was low literacy rate like 16%. Life expectancy rate was 32 years. Only like wow, it is only 32 years life expectancy rate. It was very low, right? So this was the adverse demographic condition at the time of independence that our country were having. If I talk about the infrastructural thing, poor roads, no electricity, health conditions were deteriorated, education having a no proper systematic way, communication services were deteriorated, some development were there in the roads and railways, but just for the sake of British administration, they have just served our colonies, colonial interest, our colonies, they have served only their colonies, but they haven't any thought of Indian development. Like they have no sort of things in their mind that they need to develop the country India. They have only served their own colonial interests because they are having trade in the country. They have to sell their goods. So they need railways, they need roadways, they need ports, posts, telegraphs. So that's why they just have a certain developments there. Just certain developments. There's nothing. Now, if I'll be coming to the occupational sector, so it was over dependent on primary sector. like occupational, as I have already told you guys, like our economy is an agrarian economy, so it is totally dependent on the primary sector, like on the agricultural sector. 72% workforce is in the agriculture sector and 10% in manufacturing and 18% in services. So are you getting the ratio? Like primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. The ratio is very less. Like majority is in the primary sector, then second one is the tertiary sector, and the third one is the industrial sector. Why is it the third one? It is third one because it requires heavy investment, and private sector is not inculcating in the sector because they are not ready for the heavy investment that it needs. So they are more into the service sector because it doesn't require heavy investment, and that's why more of the people are there. Industrial and service sector are underdeveloped. Yeah, these both sectors are underdeveloped. We are not having proper banking services with us. We are not having proper communication services with us. We are not having certain more services with us in a proper condition. And industries, they are not even developed. The industrialization causes a very great outbreak to this thing. So we are having a very bad situation of all these stuffs with us. And 72% of the workforce are there in the agriculture sector of our country. So this was the condition of our occupational segment in our economy. So you can explain this point and just write in an examination. So this is all about the sectors, different sectors, the situation that they are facing, and the impact on our Indian economy. So in the last lesson or in the last part of this chapter, I'll be telling you some of the positive impacts that British rule have in our country and some of the negative impacts. Yeah, there are certain positive impacts that were there due to the Britishers in our country. So I'll be telling you in the next lesson, and it will be an important question for your exam point of view because the people already obviously know the negative impact of the colonial rule, but they usually forget the positive impact of it. So we are done with the sectors. Now we are on the last part of this chapter because chapter one is very small. So we have just completed within the 4 parts, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourself. Stay tuned with the channel. Thank you so much.